My father personally knew Nkrumah. As a matter of fact, he told me stories about how he was in the army, and he told me stories about how people in his, I don't know whether we call it platoon or his infantry or whatever, didn't like him because of how close he was to Nkrumah. Dad was in the position to experience a life where you could do certain things. And that is what I think he got from his connection with Nkrumah. We can do this and we are going to do this. And we did do it. My name is Cleopatra Nsiah Nketiah. I am a lawyer. I have my own law firm called Boat and Ado and Nketiah and Associates. But most importantly, and my passion, I am an owner of a women's football club called Rich City FC Women in Accra, Ghana. I started my football club because I love football. I wanted to participate in women's football. I wanted to be a part of football. I didn't just want to be a spectator being at the park or watching on TV and just yelling at the TV. I wanted to do something for women's football, and the rest is history, I guess. So the problem that I aimed to solve was to change the perception of women's football in Ghana. I've been privileged enough to spend some time of my life outside of Ghana, and I've seen how people react to women's football, how people treat women's football, how people love women's football. And in Ghana, it hadn't always been like that. Previously, if you're into football, then you don't have anything to do with yourself, your life, there's nothing happening for you. It kind of made it feel like doing football was a chore or was for something for people who were pretty much aimless. And the whole point of getting into football, with my background, was to show people who wanted to be in football, girls who wanted to play, girls who wanted to enter into management or anything concerning football, that you don't have to be part of football because there's nothing else to do. Football can actually be a job, can actually be a career, and it's something that you can aspire to do. So my whole aim of starting Rich City was change the perception of women's football in Ghana and to, just take it to the next level as is seen everywhere else in the world.
Can you share a pivotal moment or turning point in your journey?
A pivotal moment in my journey is probably when I decided to do things my way. So again, like I said, women's football, it's football. Everybody does football. Everybody has an idea of what they want to do in football. But what changed my journey was when I decided to do football the way I wanted to do it. I got into football and I wanted to do what has to be done when you're in football in Ghana. When you're playing football in Ghana, this is what you have to do. You have to start a club. You have to be part of this group. You have to be part of that group. You have to do things this way. And after trying it other people's way, after trying to how people said football should be done, I realized that I'm not in it to do what everybody else is doing. I'm in it to do it the way I want to do. Just because people have a football club and they're trying to win leagues and trying to be the best team in Ghana does not mean that has to be my journey as well. And the second I made that choice, I realized that I had to change the model of the club. I had to change how we train, how we play, the type of people that we get involved in the club. And that has set me on a different path from the path that I was on before. So I think that the pivotal point was when I decided to do things my way.
How did your background and experiences shape your entrepreneurial path?
Well, I think the background was very important because growing up at home, my parents, my family, everybody knows I love football. There's been no point in time when anybody in my house, anybody in my family has said, what are you doing? Or why are you doing this? Not even in school. Because in my educational background, my family background, my friends, everybody knows I love football. So all that I got from everybody was encouragement and support. People weren't shocked. I don't think that up to now, if I tell anybody that I own a women's football club, they're like, what? It's more of, duh, what can we do to help? So I think that my support and my background has been awesome, and I'm happy that I have people in my life who understand what I'm doing and are doing what they can do to support. I've had family and friends show up at games, getting the kids, encouraging the players, coming around to show support. It's been pretty much amazing, and I'm trying my best to make sure that everybody understands why I got into this and everybody sees the vision that I'm seeing and everybody's proud of me at the end of the day.
What values or principles guide your decision-making and company culture?
Well, I'm not the first person to do women's football. And in order to do what I want to do, I've had to look around to see those who are doing it. And I've observed people who have been in my position. I've observed people who are trying to do something that nobody else is doing. My own family values or vision. I've just combined all of that and I've understood what I need to do. in understanding that, it helps me to be grounded and it helps me to focus on what I'm trying to do. In terms of values, I guess the general basics of being in football, helping people, supporting people, doing what one must do to be able to get to the direction that we are trying to get into. And I don't think I have any examples of any exact values, but just the general basic human decency and goals and visions and how to get there. So,
how did you assemble the people that you work with, and what qualities do you generally look out for?
Well, the first quality that I'm looking out for is the passion to do what I'm trying to do. It doesn't matter how professional or how expert somebody is at a job. If they don't share the same passion as you, they're just going to lead you in the wrong direction, lead you down the wrong place. They're not going to be enthusiastic as you are. They're not going to help you in the way that you need help. So my first quality that I'm looking at for people is the passion to do it. After that, everything else can be taught. I didn't go to school to learn football. I went to school to learn to become a lawyer. I didn't take any courses in football before I started. I just wanted to do football and I jumped into football. So at the beginning stage, my club is actually 5 years old, or 6 years this month. But at the beginning stages of my football career, I found out that what I'm trying to do, not only am I not an expert at it, but a lot of people around me aren't experts, and it's not by choice. It's because they just don't have access to become experts or good at what they are supposed to be doing. So after passion, I look at people who are interested in genuinely supporting, and those are the kind of people that I surround myself with. Those are the kind of people that are in the club. You don't need to know how to play football to be a footballer. When you come in and you want to learn, you do it. You don't need to have all your coaching badges or your coaching licenses to coach at Race City. If you are passionate and you're interested in coaching and you come, we will help you to get those badges, we'll help you to get those licenses, and we'll give you the players who are also interested in having your expertise or knowledge in life to help them in playing. When we are done with women's football, we're not just getting girls into football now, we are creating a generation of footballers. We watch players in America, we watch players in China, we watch players in Europe, and everybody is just like, oh, these people are so advanced. How did they get that way? They planned. They didn't plan today to be awesome by the end of today. They planned today to be awesome in 10 years' time. They are reaping the rewards of everything that they've done. And we are sitting here in Ghana, we just want to build today and then see the results today, not even tomorrow. And it's just something that I need to make sure that we put our stamp on it and just build a community that learns from what we have done at Race City, and everybody gets to do it. And it's not just us that are doing it, but something that people see and know that it's definitely possible if I also put my effort into it. So, yeah.
What's the biggest risk you've taken, and was it worth it?
Yes, the biggest risk that I've taken. It was not directly connected, but it was always at the back of my mind. I was working at a law firm and I quit the law firm to go on my own so that I can have time to do all these things that I'm doing. Quit the law firm so that I could focus on football and I could start my own law firm so that it can, fund the football in my new lifestyle. But that's the biggest risk that I did, just going out on my own, just forgetting that there was a steady paycheck, there was a cushion, there was a place to be comfortable in, and I just jumped out, went out on my own with no parachute. I wouldn't say with no plan, because the plan was to succeed, but yeah, that was it. And I just went out there, and thank God, 7 years later or 8 years later, I am still standing. Not only am I standing, but the foundations are in place for growth, and I'm looking to build on that. And honestly, I'll quit the job again if I had a chance, because I know that I've done the right thing. And it hasn't been easy, but we're definitely in the right direction, and I'm glad that I did.
How do you stay motivated when you have setbacks and so on? How do you,
Listen, I want to quit every day. I wake up every day wanting to quit football. I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? And my answer is always, hell yeah, I want to do this, because there's so many roadblocks, there's so many obstacles. It's like you wake up and you want to hit a goal, and then people are like, okay, challenge accepted. Let's throw this, let's throw that. There's so many things that are in my way that every day I want to quit. But every day I see the obstacle, I'm like, nah, jumping over this, jumping over that, jumping over that. And it becomes the habit. And for for not wanting to be corny, but being corny. I'm too legit to quit now.
That's right.
We are doing this. We are going to do it. And I mean, despite everything that has happened, I feel like we can make it. I've looked around at everybody who has made it in life, and nobody's story was easy. Nobody woke up today and tomorrow they made it. Overnight success stories don't exist. It sounds that way and it feels that way because time is moving that fast. That's why I should have started yesterday, but it's just about getting at it and doing it and not quitting, because you will always feel like you want to. But let's go.
Okay, to wrap up, so this campaign is towards Nkrumah Memorial Day, and so I just want to know how Kwame Nkrumah's legacy sort of brings to bear in your journey as an entrepreneur.
So I'm going to tell a story that has got probably nothing to do with anything that's happening here, but it has everything to do with it. My father personally knew Nkrumah, and my dad always talked about Nkrumah. I don't know what kind of relationship they had, but my dad loved Nkrumah. So to be part of this project, it feels like Circle is coming together, because not only do I have the Nkrumah connection, but the entrepreneurial connection coming from my dad. Because a lot of the things that my dad did, he was pretty much the first person to do it in Ghana. The Avengers Band, they were the first rock and roll group in Ghana. If you ask anybody over the age of 60, they will tell that yes, they know my dad and they probably went to a few of his shows. My father did so many things that were innovative, and it is the stuff that he did and the encouragement of me doing my own version of my entrepreneurial stuff that has led me here. My dad supported everything that I've done, everything that I wanted to do. I'll tell you, there were days when I've tried to be an actress, I've tried to be a model, I've tried to do so many things in my life, and my dad is like, yeah, just go for it. And I feel like my dad was in the position to experience a life where you could do certain things, and that is what I think he got from his connection with Nkrumah. We can do this and we are going to do this. And we did do it. And he took that into his life, and I guess that also came into my life. And I went to Motown, and as for us at Motown, that connection is strong and is there, and I'm very much happy to be a part of this project. And even though you may not see a linear connection, there's definitely a connection with all of this, and I'm happy to be a part of this project.